When I was going to college, I truly believed that after I graduated, I'd be making a ton of money and that all the late nights studying and working hard would finally pay off.
I'm rich.
But I was severely mistaken. After working full-time for a few weeks, I realized that working full-time was not as glamorous as it seemed. My coworkers, who were like 20 or 30 years older than me, weren't as happy as I thought they were. And they would always complain about how the company wasn't giving them the raises or promotions that they thought they deserved, and that even though they spent most of their lives trying to make the company more money, they themselves could barely afford to buy a home within 30 minutes of work. And I realized that if you spend your entire life working for someone else to achieve their dreams, then you're gonna end up in a place where you feel like you haven't lived up to your fullest potential, and you're gonna be forced to show up for someone else every single day, even if you don't want to.
Since you're down here, it would be really great if you could just sort of
take care of the cockroach problem we've been having in here.
So I started thinking, what would happen if I never had to go to work ever again? How many cool things could I accomplish if I didn't have to spend all my time somewhere else? And 10 years later, I achieved that dream of having financial freedom, which has enabled me to travel the world and do cool things like learn Japanese on my own free time. And the best part about all of this is that you can do this too, as long as you understand the secret. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys the secret that allows you to never have to work a full-time job ever again and exact steps on how to get there. Before we get to the actual secrets, you need to understand the key difference between being rich and being wealthy. You see, being rich is where you have a job that pays you a lot of money, but you still have to work a lot to make that money in the first place. And if you ever stop working, that money disappears. So as an example, I once worked as a hard money lender where I was making a lot of money for my commissions for doing loans, but it was a very stressful job and I was always on call. And once I quit that job, all the income disappeared. Whereas if you're wealthy, then you own assets that actually give you money whether or not you show up for work. So the main secret to never having to work again is to change your focus from trying to get the highest paying job possible to learning how to acquire assets that give you enough passive income so that you make money while you sleep. So just ingrain the thought in your head that to become truly wealthy, you must acquire as much passive income as you can. And you want to get to a point where your passive income makes more than your passive expenses. This way, you won't have to work anymore, you won't need to continue looking for your next deal, and you won't need to hustle and grind every single day. The money just comes in every single month.
Here comes the money.
here we go.
Now, once you understand this secret, the question is now, how do you get there? So the first thing to do is to understand how much you're spending every single month. And a great way to do that is to download our free Money Makeover Toolkit with the link down below. In the Money Makeover Toolkit, go to the third section, which is Build an Emergency Fund. And this way you can start tracking what your expenses are. In this example, we can say that we have no car loans. We maybe spend $150 a month on gas. Our utility payments, probably $300. This covers like your electricity bill, water bill, internet bill. Rent and mortgage, let's say it's $2,000 a month. We have nothing for childcare. Credit card minimum payments, this is supposed to be for how much you have to pay every month if you carry a balance. In our case, we pay everything off. So for us, we spend around $1,000 or so a month, but this could be more or less depending on your expenses. Student loan payments, we have nothing. Our cell phone bill is around $100 a month between the two of us. Groceries and food, we do go out pretty often. So let's say $500 a month for this. But again, this number can change wildly for you guys. And other payments, that's if you have any other expense or debt. Now for here, you can see that our monthly payments are around $4,000 a month. I recommend you take some time and look at your own situation and fill this out. And once you have this number out, you can then decide if there are ways you can cut so that you can save more money. So for example, if you're living in a bigger place, maybe you can rent a smaller place and save money on your rented mortgage, or maybe you can rent out a room and get some money back. Same thing goes for your monthly spend. Let's say you don't want to spend $1,000 a month, you can reduce this number. Or if you decide to cook more instead of going out to eat, this number can reduce as well. So take a look at this number, see if this is a number that you would feel comfortable living off of for basically the rest of your life, and target this. So in our case, we're spending around $4,000 a month, and if we can make more passive income than this number, then we can basically live our lives as we are now without worrying about having a full-time job. So once you have your fixed expense number, now you can make better decisions going forward. And during this time, you can decide if this number is good for you or if you can reduce your expenses. Now the cool thing about reducing your expenses is that now you have more money to save and invest, but also you need less passive income. So all these things help you retire even faster. And in my own example, I'm a relatively frugal person, and I have it ingrained in my DNA that I don't like fancy things like fancy clothes or fancy cars or even jewelry. And I'm very comfortable walking around town in t-shirts and sweatpants. But we do spend a lot of money going out every single day to eat. So that's my personal trade-off, but I don't enjoy spending money on cars and clothes. So take a look at your own life and what you like, and then make your decisions based on that. The next step is to create the passive income that allows you to never work again. Now, it may not seem like it, but there are actually a lot of ways to make passive income.
Yes! Come on!
So one method is to create an online business and sell products online, such as having a brand on Amazon that sells products. Another one is by creating digital products and selling that online as well. We do this in the forms of our courses and spreadsheets. But the method I found to be the most consistent and risk-free way that doesn't involve too much luck is simply by owning properties. Now, if you guys watch the channel, then you know that I'm all about real estate. My channel name is called Sean Loves Real Estate. And the reason why I love real estate so much is because, one, you can buy properties for just 20% down and have the bank lend you the other 80%. But when you do that, you still get to keep all of the profits. So all the cash flow that comes in and all of the gains from the appreciation all goes towards you. And two, if you buy the properties correctly, then the money that you get from the rents should cover all of the passive expenses from the property, like the mortgage payments, your property manager, property taxes, your insurance, and then give you some more money on top of that. And that extra money is called cash flow. And that cash flow is your passive income that lets you retire. And the beauty about owning real estate is that the numbers typically go up over time, but your expenses stay relatively fixed. Like generally speaking, your largest expense is your mortgage, but your mortgage is going to be a set number for the next 30 years, but your rents can increase. So even though you're buying a property today that only cash flows for around $100, $200 a month, over time, that number may be $300 or $500 a month. And because everyone needs a place to live, I find it to be very consistent. So as an example, let's say that you budgeted $4,000 a month in order to leave your full-time job. If you're buying cash flowing properties that get you between $200 and $400 a month, then that averages to around 15 properties in order to hit that $4,000 a month goal. Now, 15 homes may sound like a lot, and it definitely can be, but you should just focus on breaking it down to buying between 1 and 2 rental properties every single year with just 20% down. It makes it more manageable. And don't forget that when you buy one property, there's a snowball effect that happens where the cash flow from that one property helps you buy the next property and so on and so forth. And meanwhile, the value of the properties can appreciate. For every dollar the property grows in value, your money actually grows by 5 times since you only put 20% down. So it really helps you scale your net worth. And this is exactly what I did 10 years ago, and our net worth has exploded because of it. Since we fully implemented the secret that allows us to not work by owning rental properties that pays us every single month and by selling assets online, we're now able to live abroad and not worry about where our next paycheck is coming from. Understanding the secret will allow you to not work. And everyone out there has their own passions, and if they didn't have to work, I believe that they could create something truly beautiful. For us, not having to work means that we can spend more time traveling the world and spending more time with our extended family. By being in Asia, we've been able to see distant relatives that we really didn't spend too much time with back in America. And we've also been able to achieve our lifelong dream of learning different languages and just being more immersed in different cultures. And our main method of achieving financial freedom was through real estate investing. And if you guys are interested in getting into real estate investing yourselves, then I highly recommend checking out our course, Remote Rental Riches, where we show you step by step how to buy your first property out of state. We cover how to find the best markets to invest in and how to find the best team members to take care of your property so that you can continue to make passive income even if you're on the other side of the world. The course costs less than one inspection report, but it can easily save you tens of thousands of dollars if you just avoid the mistakes that we call out in the course. And as a special bonus for watching this video all the way to the end, we're going to give you $100 off by using the link down in the description. Remote Rental Riches has helped hundreds of students buy their first rental property, and I'm sure it's going to help you too.
Nice.
So if you need guidance buying your first property, then I highly suggest checking out the course. And since we've been traveling for several months now, we've met very interesting people. I've now understood the philosophy and relationship that Asians have with money. So if you guys want to learn how to build true wealth the Asian way, then check out this video over here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.